This is a Makita RJ01 cordless reciprocating saw. It would run normally, but the blade would not stay tight under load. The blade clamp was loose. That problem was obvious from the outside. One of the two machine screws holding the blade clamp had completely sheared off. The second screw was already loosening and close to failing. There is not enough clearance to install replacement screws with the housing assembled. So the saw needs to be opened. All 8 Phillips self-tapping case screws are installed from the same side. This side can be considered the top housing half. Before separating the housing, there is a spring steel retaining clip inside the battery slot. That clip needs to slide off. If you miss it, the grip will feel stuck, even with all the screws removed. Once the screws and the battery clip are removed, the top housing half lifts off. It will remain attached only by the LED light wires. During disassembly, watch for the 2 trigger actuator alignment pins. If these are not seated correctly during reassembly, the trigger will not operate properly. There is also a rubber motor isolator bushing at the rear of the motor. It may pop out during disassembly. It simply presses back into place. Over the blade clamp, there is a retaining guide plate. This guide must be removed to access the blade clamp screws. The guide is held on by 2 small Torx machine screws. With the guide removed, both blade clamp screws are accessible. Both screws were replaced with standard M3 by 12 mm machine screws. When one clamp screw fails, the remaining screw carries all the load and usually fails next. Replacing both screws restores proper clamping force. After reinstalling the guide plate, the housing can be reassembled. Make sure the trigger pins and the motor isolator are seated correctly before closing the case. With both clamp screws replaced, the blade clamp is solid again. The Makita RJ01 now cuts normally and no longer vibrates or slips under load. If your Makita RJ01 runs, but the blade feels loose, this repair fixes the problem. If this helped, you can subscribe for more repair fixes like this.